Welcome to today's episode, where we're diving into the world of indoor plant stands, specifically the tall ones that are making waves in home decor.
Absolutely. Tall plant stands seem to be everywhere lately. What do you think makes them so popular for indoor spaces?
I think a big part is how they help maximize vertical space. Not everyone has room for big pots on the floor, but going up just makes sense.
Right? And they really draw the eye upwards, don't they? It's almost like giving your plants their own little stage.
Exactly. Plus, by elevating plants, you can create a layered look, adding depth and dimension to any room.
I also find they're great for small apartments. If you're short on square footage, a tall stand lets you showcase greenery without cluttering the floor.
And let's be honest, a tall stand can turn even a simple spider plant into a statement piece. It's a bit like putting a crown on top.
True. But beyond aesthetics, do you see any practical benefits to using a tall plant stand indoors?
Definitely. For one, it helps keep plants away from curious pets or toddlers. That's a lifesaver for anyone with a mischievous cat.
Haha, or a dog that thinks your monstera is a snack. Another thing, by lifting plants closer to sunlight, especially in dim rooms, they can actually grow healthier.
That's a great point. Sometimes, even just a foot higher makes all the difference for a plant craving more light.
Speaking of light, tall stands can help avoid that plant crowding effect you get when everything's huddled on the windowsill.
Yes, and it makes watering and cleaning around them so much easier. No more gymnastics trying to reach pots hidden behind furniture.
I've also noticed that some tall stands have multiple tiers. That way you can display several plants at different heights in one spot.
It's almost like creating a mini urban jungle right in your living room, and it looks organized, not chaotic.
For sure. Do you have any tips for choosing the right tall plant stand for a home?
I'd say first, think about your plant's size and weight. You want a stand that's sturdy enough to hold a heavy pot.
And stability is key, especially if you have pets or kids running around. No one wants a toppling plant disaster.
Absolutely. I also look for stands made from materials that fit the room's vibe. Wood for warmth, metal for a modern touch.
That's a good call, and some stands come in really unique designs, like geometric shapes or minimalist lines. It can be a real style statement.
Speaking of style, I've seen people use tall stands to display not just plants, but also sculptures or books. Adds variety.
Yeah, it's like turning a functional item into a mini gallery. But do you think there's such a thing as too many tall stands in one space?
Haha. Maybe if your house starts to look like a forest exhibit. I think moderation is key, so the stands don't overwhelm the room.
I agree, and mixing heights is a smart move. Pairing a tall stand with shorter ones creates that nice visual rhythm.
It's a bit like composing music, right? High notes, low notes, all working together.
Love that analogy. Speaking of working together, have you found any plant types that really shine on tall stands?
Trailing plants are my favorites, like pothos or string of pearls. They look amazing cascading down.
Yes. I also like to put upright plants like snake plants on tall stands for a real height boost.
It's interesting how the stand can change the whole vibe of a plant. A peace lily on the floor feels casual, but on a tall stand, it's almost regal.
Totally. And for people who might not have a green thumb, even faux plants can look impressive on tall stands.
That's a great workaround for those who want style without the stress. No one has to know they're fake.
Exactly. Do you have any DIY tips for people who want to make their own tall plant stand?
Old stools can make great stands with a coat of paint, or stack sturdy crates for a rustic look.
I love that. It's sustainable and adds character. Plus, making your own means you get the exact height and look you want.
And it can be a fun weekend project. Maybe even invite friends over. Make it a plant stand party.
That sounds way more fun than assembling flat pack furniture. On another note, how do you recommend maintaining these stands?
Regular dusting is key, especially for wood. And check for water damage if you tend to overwater your plants.
Good reminder. I sometimes put a tray or mat under the pot, just in case. Saves a lot of headaches.
Absolutely. And if you're moving the stand around, make sure the base is still sturdy. The last thing you want is a wobbly showpiece.
For sure. Before we wrap up, do you think tall plant stands are just a passing trend or here to stay?
I think they're here for the long haul. As long as people love plants and limited space, tall stands just make sense.
I agree. They're practical, stylish, and adaptable. Kind of like the little black dress of home decor.
Perfect comparison. So, for anyone looking to elevate their indoor greenery, literally, tall plant stands might just be the answer.
And who knows, maybe after this episode, listeners will start spotting them everywhere.
Or maybe even start a new plant stand trend of their own. Thanks for tuning in, and happy decorating!
Until next time, keep your plants and your spirits elevated.